Okay, end of the month update time. I got a few things that have changed. Videos will be coming soon on just about everything. Let's first start off with this Kuma four-wheeler. There is a video on my channel coming up, probably about a month or 2 months, roughly, give or take. This is a crank, but no start. It does not have spark. So my idea is I'm going to check the CDI box on my good four-wheeler, put it on here, and see if this has spark. I might do the same with the coil. We'll see. They are both Kumas. I believe this one is a bit smaller. My other one I think is a 600. I think this might only be a 400. Bought sight unseen from auction. Still has the auction tag on it. Tires are decent. This one does go low. Not a big deal. I think same with this one. Yep. I think the fronts are good. As you can see, I got some starting fluid there. It needs the boot fixed on this side as well. Yeah, both fronts are good. Backs go a little bit low. But overall, it's actually not in that bad a shape. It only has a temperature and a fuel gauge on it. But yeah, like I said, it's a crank, but no start. This machine right here is still waiting on the Johnny bucket. I've had a lot of mixed weather. Some days will be nice, some days will be absolutely horrible. So this is getting a Johnny bucket. This is also getting a transmission swap, or transaxle swap, whatever you want to call it. So waiting on just to get some time to do that. Moving on, Poulan Pro starts, runs, drives, but this is getting the transaxle from the Craftsman. So this is almost ready to go. I got to do some cover swaps. I don't think I'm doing anything on this one in particular. I think this one's staying the way it is. So this one here, swap the transaxle, put deck back on. It should be ready to go. I might get this done this weekend, but I've been working on pressure washers. I'm kind of wanting to get them done so I then move on to tractors. But yeah. Free Craftsman. It is just about ready to go as well. This one and the Poulan Pro both need oil changes. So this one here, again, got to put the deck on. I got new blades for the deck. It starts, runs, drives. I'm waiting on 2 air filter cover nuts. I ordered them on eBay. Hopefully they'll be here soon. Like I said, also changed the oil. Good battery. Then this one needs a pressure washing, and it's also ready to go. We'll head into the garage next. When I go to the other side of the yard, I'll pause the video. One of the last pressure washers I'm currently working on, it's a Homelite. I've repowered it with a Honda. The Honda engine has issues. The engine came from the same auction my zero turn came from. As you can see, I have a block, or half a block, sitting right there for one of these Honda GC engines. I'm hoping that's the good side. I think this engine may have a blown governor. It revs to the moon and back. Whenever it does start, you can control it by your hand, but this does have an auto governor on it. So it's basically just designed to sit there and run and hopefully not over rev. I'm going to change out that and hopefully get this up and running. In a rare occasion where the pump didn't fail, the engine failed in this particular situation here. Right here, I have a Generac 5500 watt generator. It's ready to go. I may have somebody interested in this, so hoping that this will be gone sooner rather than later. I paid $220 for this generator. Very good deal. It has all the outputs you would need. I'll roll it forward. But yeah, it runs, it has output. It does everything it needs to do. Don't want to hit the garage door. There. Another Honda GC. This is a 160. The other one's labeled as a 190. I believe it's 160. Yeah, 160. This one is also ready to go. New hose, wand, pump is good. It starts, runs, does everything it needs to do. So all new tips on this one as well. Got the bag down there for all the tips in it, and an extension for the wand. Decent little pressure washer. I'm getting tired of working on these Honda engines at the moment. They're not overly difficult. They're just tedious. When you're putting in everything on the air filter, you got 2 bolts. Yes, bolts, not studs. So you got to put everything in, basically on the air filter side, get all the linkages hooked up, the fuel line in place, slide everything on as an assembly, then you can tighten everything down. And I don't torque stuff. I use my hand. My hand is my torque wrench. I've been doing this enough. I pretty much know what is too much and what's not enough. So you don't need torque wrenches when working on small engines. And that actually includes blades as well. As long as you have a good impact gun, give it a few abdagas, at least 3, those blades aren't coming off. So anyways, this here, ready to go. And the other Honda I just showed, the 190, will hopefully be the last Honda I work on for a little while. Like I said, they're getting a little on the tedious side. This here is the other side of the 190 block. This one could run again, but it has a busted camshaft. I don't know if it damaged the timing belt or not. Timing belt's still in place, but it had a busted cam gear. The parts are available, but it's not really worthwhile to fix since I've taken so many parts off this engine for the other 190. Also, I took some parts off of this for the, no, I took some parts off the other 190 for the 160. Basically been changing parts around between the 3 engines. I made 2 hopefully good engines out of 3 basically. Okay, under this cover here is my Ariens from Kijiji. It's just about ready to go. It needs a spark plug. It has clean oil, clean air filter. Change the plug, and it should be ready to go. Runs, drives, cuts. The engine, being a 14 horse, is a slightly undersized for this machine, but it still will get the job done. This right here is a 125cc four-wheeler. I got it from auction as well. It came from the same auction the other four-wheeler came from, and the Generac generator, and one other generator which I'll show in a few minutes. This one here is a no crank, no start. I don't know if the engine is seized or if the starter is bad. This will be a project later on down the road. Tires are in decent shape on it. Plastics aren't horrible. They're not the greatest. If I can get this running, get it running for cheap and get rid of it, sort of thing. These market on these between 300 and 400, give or take, in running condition on these. Even in reasonably decent condition, like rough but okay condition. Also, it will need a battery, so that's one other thing that will have to be put onto the list. And that's pretty much it for this. So next step on this, when I get some time, pull the starter, see if it's the starter or see if it's the engine that's stuck. If it's the engine, I'm not replacing it, obviously. I'm not going to try and free it up. I'll sell this as a parts bike. Scott's still sitting there, and yes, the Scott's actually has a good battery in it. Don't ask me why I left a good battery in a machine that really its fate is unknown. Under here is my Allis-Chalmers. It needs some engine work done to it, and it will be going up for sale. Mainly the top cover has to be replaced. I have to convert it from a 2 cable back to a single cable throttle choke combination, or have to drill a hole and install the choke cable properly. I'm going to try and convert it back, and we'll go from there. And everybody should know what's under that cover. It's still sitting there. Yes, I would like to get on that this year Will it happen? I really don't know offhand. Okay, in here is my zero turn. I'm waiting on parts for it as well. I ordered up a set of front caster bushings. So they're not bad. It still runs, drives, cuts, but it does have play. So those are going to get replaced before it causes any serious damage. This machine is very nice. It has auto choke. It starts on low throttle. There is no choke basically on this. It's all automatic, which is nice. It's a very nice machine. It's 42 inches wide, which is perfect for my yard. I love this machine. This here is the other generator I got from auction. This is a heavy duty diesel generator. It starts and runs, has output. It needs a battery, and that's pretty well it, except for those two receptacles do need to be replaced. So you gotta get them replaced, get a battery, and this should be ready to go. I'm not into it for too much. It should make a halfway decent profit when I do go and sell it. And this is my big Kuma Jaguar four-wheeler. This is basically the big brother to that yellow one I showed earlier in the video. I believe these do share some similar parts. I'll obviously check before I do anything too major regarding the CDI box. I don't think I want to yank the coil off this. I will do the CDI box since it's easy, but it's still sitting here. I had it running last month. The batteries, yes, it has 2 batteries, should still be up. I'll most likely nab one of the batteries out of this for the other four-wheeler temporarily, just to get it running. This one here, yeah, lights still work. So it would start if I tried it. I should probably have it on a battery tender, since there is a constant drain from the LED lights. But I think that's pretty well it. This here I think was a really good buy. It's a nice, big, heavy-duty diesel generator. It uses a Yanmar style diesel engine right in there. Sediment bowl is actually not too bad. Oil's clean in it. I did put diesel cleaner in it as well. Like I said, it runs, it does everything it needs to do. Just needs a little bit of maintenance. Nothing overly major. Unknown hours, since the hour meter on it does not work, unfortunately. But it's in decent condition. Okay, the abandoned Hoopty Yard Pro still starts, runs, drives. It does need a starter, but I did find one I knew I had. I've just recently found it again that might be the right one for this. So I'm most likely going to change out the starter on this machine. This is a hydrostatic with a Kohler Command opposed twin. Doesn't look like much, but it actually is a halfway decent machine. It actually runs very good. It does need a steering box. It does need some other work done to it. Tires hold air for the most part. It does actually have a battery in it. If there wasn't stuff sitting on the engine, it would start, I would think. Will I start it? Not right now. I think there's also a steering gearbox sitting in there for it. There should be. I can't remember if I put it in there or not. Here is the other Yard Pro. This one is the YT16. This one has the Briggs & Stratton Vanguard V-twin in it. I'm not sure if this is a factory engine or not, or if somebody swapped in a Vanguard. This one here does start, run, drive. Both of these machines, both Yard Pros, probably won't ever cut grass again. That's a 50-50 on that. The decks are not the greatest condition for either of these, and these machines are kind of getting up into the age bracket where to get parts for the deck is getting harder and harder. So I'm not sure if these two will ever cut grass again. But this one here, the value is in this engine. Battery's dead. It has just barely enough power to run the headlights. But yeah, the battery is dead in this. But it would start right up. It would run and drive. I had to hold the choke on for a little bit to keep it going. But once it warmed up, it would stay running and driving. This one also is a 6-speed, I believe. Yes. I was originally going to swap this over to a 5. I might still, just so I can put that 6-speed in my Horde. I haven't yet decided. The Roper. Believe it or not, on this, all 4 tires are holding air. This machine does still have its deck in place. The deck is kind of unknown condition. Don't really know what's going on with it completely. I believe the reason lower moves, it would have to be freed up. But this machine, I do have a new hood for it. It needs a little bit of repair, but it is nicer than the one that's on it. The engine is still pretty much a complete unknown, but judging off of just about everything else I got from this tractor haul, it might run. Have to wait and see on that. So this one here is still on the back burner. Don't know when I'll be getting to it. Like with the 2 Yard Pros, this might just be a yard tractor for its life. The transaxle is a little on the stuck side, so I have the parts to do a 5-speed swap. So this might end up getting a 5-speed. I haven't yet decided. If I can't get the transaxle that's in it freed up. Last but not least, the Kubota 4-wheel steer. I gotta get some maintenance done on this at some point. I gotta change the oil. But still starts, runs, drives. The deck for it is sitting right here. This is the 54-inch deck, I believe. The deck has to go in the tent shed. I have all the mounts and cables and what have you zip tied to the actual frame of this deck. I sold the 60-inch for $800, so I'm really not into this machine for too much at the moment. So I'm only into it for $1,400 plus fees, which isn't bad. I think I paid $22 for it with both decks. I think I could be wrong on that price. I did want a 4-wheel drive Steiner, but it kind of went a little bit too high, and I told the story in another video. So anyways, it's like I said, it still runs, drives, it's doing good. The tires are actually still holding up reasonably good. I had one go flat last week, but they are still holding as of right now. And Miss Shania is probably trying to sniff out mice or something. But I guess that's pretty well it for everything that's here. I'm not going to Super Secret Storage location to show you what's there. Nothing has changed. And nothing has really changed in there either. So there's no need to show in there. So talk to them later. Please keep it redneck like always. And please subscribe and comment.